What's up, everybody? We are going to go over a full mobility class for beginners today. So we're going to start in the standing position. First thing we're going to do is just feet underneath the hips or the shoulders. A nice strong base. Don't lock the knees. Knees are slightly bent. You're going to stand up nice and tall. And then from here, we're just going to relax our neck down. And we're going to start with some circles all the way around. If there's any pain, you can discontinue or just skip this part. So from here, we're just making full circles with our chin. Think about the chin going around a clock and look in the direction that your chin is moving in. Okay? So you're going to complete about 2 to 3 each way. If you want to make this a little bit more controlled, you can squeeze the fists, squeeze the entire body. You'll notice that you're able to move a little bit deeper, but you obviously have to relax your neck when you do that. Next, we're going to move to the shoulder. So we're going to reach forward with our thumb up and back, and then we're going to bring our arm over our body here, reach back, bring our hand behind our back, all the way up the back, make a fist. We're going to press the fist into the lower back. You should feel a little tension here in the front of the shoulder. Then from here, we're going to extend the elbow, rotate, thumb back, reach up in the air, and then you're going to go across the body and down. And then I'll do the other side. So across and up. Thumb is back, reach back, rotate the shoulder so the back of the hand and thumb are facing back. And then we're going to bend the elbow, make a fist, press the fist into the lower back, feel a little bit of tension on the front of the shoulder. Then you're going to reach back, thumb up, reach up, across the body and down. Okay. For the scapula, we're just going to make some shoulder rotations or shrugs. Forward, back, and around. So forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back, and down. And then back, up, forward, and down. Back, up, forward, and down. Okay. Now we're going to move our upper spine only. So we're going to cross your hand across the chest. We're going to flex it upper back down. Rotate, bend into the side. Then we're going to extend back, rotate, bend into the other side, and flex down. Then we're going to rotate the other way, bend, extend, rotate, bend, and flex down. Okay, so that's the upper back. Now we're going to move the whole spine in the cat-cow. So hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, feet behind the knees. From here, we kind of have a neutral back, not extended or flexed. Just take a couple inhales here, soft nasal inhale, and then a long exhale out the mouth. And keep exhaling until you feel some tension in the core. Pierce your lips on your exhale. Continue that same breathing. 2 more inhales and exhales. Inhale through the nose. Long exhale out the mouth. Get everything out until you feel it in your core. And at the end of your exhale, hold your breath. Don't inhale yet. And then 1 more inhale. And 1 more long exhale. From here, we're going to round the upper back. Squeeze the glutes, tuck the chin to the chest. Then we're going to look up. Shoulders will come down, and then we'll arch our lower back and look up. And then from here, we'll tuck our hips, squeeze our glutes, curl the core, and then tuck the chin. From here, we'll go to a collapse or a child pose position. Collapse kneeling, bring the forehead to the ground, or try to get the bridge of the nose on the ground. Then from here, I'm going to reach as far overhead as I can. And then I'm going to shrug down with my elbows straight. Reach overhead again with my elbows straight. Use my lats and pull my lats down. And then reach up. Squeeze that shoulder down. And then reach up. Then from here, I'm going to press my right hand into the ground. As I do that, I'm going to perform a shoulder rotation with the left arm. So I'm going to press down with my right hand, reach up with my left arm, reach back, same thing as before, fist into the back, press, reach back, and then switch side. This doesn't allow your body to cheat, so that's why it's a little bit harder. From here, we're just going to sit on the heels. If you can't sit on the heels, take some pillows or just sit up in the kneeling position, and then eventually get as lower as you can with your toes pointed. Then we're just going to rock side to side. Do this for about 10 to 30 seconds. Then from here, I'm going to curl the toes back to that hands and knees position. I'm going to arch the back as I sit on the ankles. Get a nice toe stretch and ankle stretch. Also, I'm getting into spinal extension. And then I'm going to just curl the spine, squeeze the glutes. Sit back on the heels and then rock forward. So these are just called hip rocks. Then from here, I'm going to bring those feet out in front of me, shake my legs out. First thing I'm going to do is just see how my hamstrings feel and my lower back feels. I'm just going to shift the hips, bring one leg forward and one leg back, and then shift the hips the other way. Okay. Shouldn't have any pain here. You may have some tightness in the hips or the lower back. And then from here, we're going to just try to bring the toes together and try to get our spine straight. And we should feel some tension in the hamstrings here, just because of the way our hips are tilted. So we're trying to tilt those hips back with an arch back here if we can. Toes are up. Then from here, we're going to reach our arms as wide and as forward as possible. We're going to try to maintain a pretty straight spine, but it's okay to curl a little bit. We just don't want to be folding. Take a couple inhales and exhales here. Now go ahead and fold. Tuck the chin. Breathe as far as you can. If you can only hold your hamstrings, that's fine. And then just take 2 more inhales and exhales. Should have felt that in your low back and hamstrings. Okay, then we're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together in this butterfly position. I like to bring my hands behind me to start. And then I like to actively bring my knees to the ground. And I'll take a couple of inhales and exhales here. Then I'll bring my hands together. I'll wrap my wrists or my hands around the ankles and press the elbows down into the thighs. Just to get a little bit of isometric tension, I'm going to press the knees into the elbows, kind of turn those adductors on. So I'm going to press, about 10% effort, 20%, 30%, and then I'm going to relax. Same thing, 10, 20, 30, relax, hold the feet, and then actively bring the knees to the ground. Big exhale, big inhales here, and just really trying to get those knees actively down. And then relax, bring those feet out front again, shake it out. Now we're gonna move into a 90-90 position. So what we're gonna do is line our front foot, back knee, and foot on the same line. Make a 90-degree angle with our knees, hips, and ankles. And then we're gonna face over the knee. We're gonna hinge at the hips. We don't wanna curl here. And then we should feel a nice stretch on the outside of that glute. Take an inhale and an exhale. Take about 3 inhales, 3 exhales here. While we're here, I might bring one shoulder forward and back. And if I feel some tension or tightness, I might even reach even more. And then I'm going to get the other side, okay? So I don't need to be fancy. I'm just gonna rotate, get to the other side. Foot, knee, back the ankle, all lined up. Face over the knee. Looking forward. 3 inhales and exhales. Again, you can move your shoulders a little bit here. And you can also add that reach. Good. All right. Now we're going to move to a little bit of the upper body. So the first thing we're going to do is get into the kneeling position. And we're going to bring our hands behind our head. We're going to reach out to the sides. Bring our thumbs down, and then reach behind our body, hands behind, cross the arms if you can, maybe even reach for the elbows here. So I obviously don't have great shoulder mobility. Otherwise, I'd be able to reach my hands and touch them, but I need to work on this. So just wrapping the hands around the wrists in this kneeling position or tall kneeling position, whatever you prefer. Then I'm going to release the hands and press both fists into the lower back. I'm going to tuck my chin. I'm going to perform a rotation here like before. Might be a little bit more tension. The arms behind the body. I can flatten the back of the hands to the lower back if I want, and I'm going to rotate the other way. And I like this because we're getting, obviously, the quads, the ankles as a stretch, and then we're getting some shoulder mobility and shoulder stretching, or neck mobility and shoulder stretching. All right, now we're going to go ahead and start activating a little bit and getting into a little bit of a workout. So we're going to bend the knees and bend the elbows. And we're going to reach overhead and then pull the arms down. We're going to try to challenge ourselves by keeping the hands flat against the ground, wrists and elbows touching the ground. We don't want our knees too bent or too long, so just a 45-degree angle here. Keep the ribs from arching out in front. Pull those ribs down as you do this. And exhale as you reach overhead. Inhale as you pull down. Okay. I'll do about 5 to 10 of those, and then I'll move into this crab position because now we're going to really stress the front of the shoulders. So this reverse tabletop top position, we have our palms facing forward, or fingertips facing forward, toes facing forward. Then what we're gonna do is kind of leverage with our hands and feet and squeeze the glutes into this reverse tabletop position. We're gonna hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds. On my neck slightly back, and then come back down. All right, so we're kind of through our full body warm up. We've touched on most everything, hips. We haven't really stretched the ankles, so we'll kind of move into that next. And then we'll get into more some strength-based exercises to kind of really take that stretching and then kind of make it to where it's going to be more useful. So not only do you want to stretch the tissue, but you also want to strengthen it after. Stretching is great to do daily, but if you can do a little activation or strength sets after, that's also going to help with your mobility and also the strength of the muscle. So getting into some more strength-based mobility, we're going to start with the downward dog position. Hands are about shoulder width apart. I like my hands going slightly up and out. All 10 fingertips are flat against the ground, no cupping. And then knees are under the hips, feet are behind the knees. And then from here, leverage using the hands and feet, hips go high. And then we're trying to get the heels down. If your heels don't touch the ground, you may have lack of ankle dorsiflexion, or you might have just some tight calves or hamstrings. Could be a lot of different things going on there. From here, I'm going to take this time to kind of reach through with my thumbs up. Get a nice stretch in the upper body as a quick rest. Then I'm going to go back to that downward dog position. And then I'm going to bring both my feet together. I'm going to slice my leg all the way up to the air. Trying to keep that bottom heel down. And then switch. You're going to feel definitely more of a pull in the ankle, hamstring, and calf here on that bottom leg. Come back down, reverse here. So if you had one arm in front, try to reverse it. If you don't remember, just do both. All right, now we're going to get into a plank or push-up position, but we're also going to challenge shoulder extension and strength. So just a basic push-up is going to help us increase mobility and strength to our shoulder joint just by going down really nice and slow and controlled. So we're going to get in the push-up position, hands underneath the shoulders, flat hands on the ground, knees underneath the hips to start, feet behind the knees, and then straighten one leg out to start. Nice straight spine. Step those legs together. We are going to walk a little bit forward so that our hands are our thumbs are in line with our mid-chest. We're going to slowly lower down, as slow as you can. If there's pain, don't attempt this. Try not to jet the head forward like a turtle. Almost look slightly up, so you don't do that. Don't let your hips sag. Keep your glutes engaged, hamstrings, quads, core, if you can, and then slowly touch the chin down and relax. From this position, we're going to lift those hands off the ground and hold for 5 seconds. Okay, and then we're going to try again. We're going to make some fists. We're going to press into the ground, create an isometric contraction, and then we're going to lift up and hold. Press down, and then pull up. Hands at about mid-chest. we're gonna do a slow push-up off the ground, as slow as you can. All right, so nice little upper body and shoulder mobility set right there. Now working on the lower body, we're gonna get in the half kneeling position, okay? Starting in the tall kneeling position, knees underneath the hips. What we're gonna do is hands on the hips for stability, tuck both toes behind us. We're gonna step in front of the belly button. Then from here, we want a tall spine, look straight ahead. I have a lot of different options here. I can just squeeze this back glute to feel my hip flexors. I can also open this leg up and lean in that direction. I can also go a little bit more narrow and press ahead. I can also bring my hands down and step that leg back in this position. So there's a lot of different options for stretching that hip flexor. Okay, there's the McGill option here, is to reach your arm overhead away from the back leg. So it's my left leg, my left arm goes up, and I'm gonna reach over my right side, okay? I can do that half kneeling. I can also do that in a isometric split squat, just like that, okay? Then I'm gonna switch side. So pick a good option, whether that's just right here, squeezing the glute, feeling a nice stretch for beginner. Then option 2, opening it up. Option 3, moving straight ahead. Option 4, bringing the leg off the ground or keeping the back knee down. You can rock into this stretch as well. Or you can go into the half kneeling, reach across the body. All right, after we've kind of got the hip flexors, now we're gonna challenge the adductors. So a good one to start is the adductor rock. So let's start in a hands and knees position. I'm going to bring my knees as wide as possible. Point my toes, touch the toes together. I can sit back and just kind of enjoy this stretch and go side to side. I can hang out there as long as I want, really, but don't want to waste too much time. And then I'm gonna extend one knee. Try if you can to get the outside edge of that foot on the ground. I'm not sure how much it matters, but you can also open up the hip just like that. There's no pain. And then you'll switch. Here, big inhales and exhales. Open the hip, close the hip. Okay, and we'll continue with some more lower body strength in a second. Let's see what we got here. We'll make part 2 in a second. Not really a second though.